All right, hello everybody. My name is Ryan Graebner with the OSU Serial Extension Program, and today I'll be going over a few of the newest winter wheat varieties that are available for Oregon and talk about whether they might fit into your farming operation. Up first we have LCS Shine. This is a Lima grain variety and derived from a bobtail by LCS Biancourt cross. Something interesting about this cross is that both of the parents perform well in high rainfall environments, but LCS Shine really seems to do well statewide, but especially in those low rainfall areas. It's early maturing, it's short, one of the shorter lines in this trial, so that could cause some issues in a year like this where wheat overall is quite a bit shorter. Overall, yield-wise, it's really looking strong. We have 4 years of data on it in the variety trials. Talked to some growers who are growing it this year. Some people seem to be fairly happy with it, but it sounds like some fields are going to suffer a little bit from the drought that we're having. That being said, I'm really confident that if we push forward with LCS Shine, we will find some really nice years off of it, or with it in the future. One thing to note, it does look like it's susceptible to straw breaker foot rot. This is an issue, Pendleton area, Walla Walla area potentially. If this is a pathogen you've worked with in your field, that would be one reason not to grow LCS Shine. Seems like it has strong stripe rust resistance, and that it was given a most desirable end-use quality rating from the Western Wheat Quality Lab. Up next is LCS Blackjack. This is another very strong Lima grain variety derived from a rosin by bobtail cross. Very strong yield, especially in higher rainfall areas. In the variety trials, it's done well in some areas that typically get about 12 to 14 inches of rainfall. This is a very dry year, so I think that this is going to be an interesting opportunity to really see the extent of where LCS Blackjack could go in those low and intermediate rainfall areas. Big downside is it does have lower test weight. Both of the parents do. Not too big a surprise that LCS Blackjack does as well. That being said, I think that in a lot of situations, the yield more than compensates for any deduction you might get from test weight. This one's got very strong straw breaker foot rot resistance, strong stripe press resistance, and is desirable end-use quality, so overall a very nice variety. All right, Press. This one's a little bit trickier to get a handle on. We have 3 years of data on it so far. It's a McGregor exclusive variety, and so far we're seeing a little bit mixed performance. It's done well in some areas, like Dufur and Caseburg, potentially has a fit in the Pendleton, Walla Walla areas. It's really suffered in Lexington, Condon, and Kent. So I think that we might be seeing the limit of where it can go in terms of low rainfall environments. This year will be a good one to look out for it, and again, I think that we're really going to get a good sense of the range that this variety could fit after seeing how it performs in this drought. That being said, strong stripe press resistance and desirable end-use quality. Overall, this seems like a fairly well-rounded variety if it can get into those low to intermediate rainfall areas. Up next is Stingray CL+. This is a WSU variety. This has shown a very strong yield in intermediate to high rainfall environments and as well as irrigated environments. So think 14, 16 inches and above. It's a little later maturing than what we usually grow in Oregon. It has performed well in some of the variety trials at lower rainfall areas. I don't know if that's going to hold up in a year like this where we see a lot of drought and we really need to get that grain fill early. Strong stripe press resistance, and again, desirable end-use quality. Appleby CL+. This is an Oregon State University variety. The thing that's notable about Appleby CL+ is it's the earliest maturing of the released 2 gene Clearfield varieties, exempting ones from Colorado, which is kind of another ballpark. At this point, UI Magic CL Plus is the variety to beat. Over the 3 years we've had Appleby CL Plus in the trial, we've seen it roughly hold level or even with UI Magic. In a year like this where we don't have a whole lot of moisture and we need something that can mature early, I'm interested to see how Appleby CL Plus performs. In terms of stripe rust, it's better than UI Magic. Still not perfect. You'll definitely want to keep an eye on Appleby in a bad rust year. Up next is OR2X2CL+. This is an Oregon State University variety. I see this really targeted at the Pendleton to Walla Walla area. Its strength is it's got outstanding screwbreaker foot rot resistance. So if this is a pathogen that you've dealt with in the past and you're looking for a 2-gene clearfield variety, OR2X2 really should be one of the top varieties you're looking at. Strong strike press resistance. Yield-wise, it's done decent in the Pendleton to Walla Walla area. I think it's a little bit later maturing to go into areas with lower rainfall than that. But overall, I think a very interesting option to have in the mix, depending on the conditions you're dealing with. Up next is VI Presta CL+. This is a Lima Grain University of Idaho collaborative variety. We've got 2 years of data on it in Oregon, and so we're still trying to get a sense for where it might fit in the state. But what we're seeing so far is promising. It looks like in general it can beat the yield of UI Magic by a little bit. It's tall, which could be nice in low rainfall areas. It has high test weight, and it looks like it has strong strike press resistance, although we haven't had the opportunity to test this in a bad strike pressed year yet. So overall, I think a very promising variety. It'll be interesting to see how it performs going forward. I'd like to take a chance to thank the Oregon Wheat Commission, which funds this work, Daisy and Matthew, who both play key roles in managing these variety trials, and all the OSU programs who we collaborate with to make these trials possible. If you have any questions, feel free to call or email me at any time.